Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the second episode of Gaming Looks Good. I'm Shareef Jackson, and in this show, we look at gaming from a lens of diversity and just pure awesomeness. And this time, y'all, we have a winner. DontNod Entertainment's Life is Strange is an awesome, awesome game. Does a great job of just like reflecting not only a very diverse view of what it's like to be at the school in this game, but as well as just great uses of staging and lighting and all that stuff, which is why I wanted to bring this in terms of a series of images instead of video, because I think that the images really evoke the emotion that I'm sure that the developers wanted to get out of us. Now, I was happy even from this first screen here, where you immediately see different body types, you see different skin color, you see, that they are clearly not going for a homogeneous high school experience, which, most people have. Most people go to a school where, like, most people look the same and are from the same area, unless you go to, like, a boarding school, which happens to be the school in this game. And also, it avoids that, like, trope of this is, poor school with all black and Latino, or this is rich school with all white and Asian. It kind of avoids that and really presents what I feel like is a really nice, diverse view of what it looks like to be at one of these schools. And if you look at the next photo, this is where the lighting and the blurring in the foreground and the background really, really come into play here, because really everything in the background is a blur, like the tree, the sky, like the group of people over by that like goalpost there, and you really want to focus just on the main character who is Maxine. And she just looks like a normal everyday teenager. They didn't go crazy with the over sexification or crazy boobs or flirtatiousness. Not saying that that stuff can't exist in a game, but I'm pretty glad that they chose to pick someone that that you can I identify with, really. Someone that you might have seen around. I think that that is really, really cool. And this is a photo of like her in a dorm room playing the guitar, just utter sense of just relaxation and just like kind of looking up into the right, just like kind of taking a like breather, like, I'm an artist. This is where I am. Cool little details. I love this staging here of the vinyl in the background and the photos. I like the teddy bear in the foreground that's like blurred out as well. And of course, there's a futon. If you've ever done boarding school, you know what the futon is. And it was probably disgusting, like mine was. This is her taking a selfie actually with a Polaroid camera. And one cool thing about it that I can't really show in the images, but it's definitely in the game, is after she takes the photos, she shakes them out. You know what I'm saying? If you ever use a Polaroid, you gotta shake it out. Andre 3000 was not lying when he said shake it like a Polaroid picture. Like, you really had to do that. You know, here's another scene in her room. As you can tell, I really like the rooms in this game because they're really well staged. Not only do you have sort of the mass of photos in the background, but look where the power strip is. I knew so many people that took their power strips extension cords, just put them in weird places because they had maybe a clock on the ceiling. Well, not on the ceiling, but high up on the wall, or like maybe a ceiling fan light that needed a like extra plug. And people would jimmy rig this stuff and just make it work. So I love how this is like a shout out to that. Really makes things come alive, and just really helps. Again, with the blurring of sort of the fake plant in the foreground there, also helps to really ground the player and, like, I feel like really kind of immerse you in that scene. Now, like, this is her in a car with someone else who I won't say who it is because that would be a spoiler. And just this scene, you can immediately see her friend looking at her with the sense of concern, maybe anger, maybe disappointment though, because if you look at Maxine's face, her kind of head is down and she looks like that she's a bit ashamed, and all that kind of plays out with the incredible lighting, and you can tell that the lighting is actually bouncing off the dashboard of the car because the camera is sort of in front of the car. You can see the reflections of the trees that they're driving past on that dashboard, and it just looks so good. And again, the lighting and the bright colors, and also the like art style, which is like very similar to The Walking Dead or The Wolf Among Us, kind of like that, like a Telltale style of like realistic, but with a hand drawn and like sort of graphic novel feel that really makes things pop out. Like all point and click games, there's some really cool things to just pick up and just mess with. This is like one of my favorites. It's a drawing that like Maxine did. And there's just like superheroes, there's black holes, there's planets. How can you go wrong, you know? And my favorite part here, though, is the little frayed parts on the top, um, but by the binder holes. Anybody that's ever ripped a paper out of a three-ring binder knows that you can never get it perfect. You always have these little bits that are kind of on the end that like you either have to manually tear off or you just like leave it here. So I love that development's decision to leave them there because it just makes it look even more authentic and cool. Here's another photo of her on like a swing set, just like contemplating life here. Again, lighting and colors, y'all. You have the blue house and the orange house kind of anchoring. The like swing set is a nice bold like color. You got this nice green grass. There's so many colors here, you know, and it really kind of, I feel like that stuff really draws you, you know, into Maxine and what she's feeling. And, you know, is she feeling as bright as these colors convey? Or maybe it's a sense of like irony, right? Maybe the whole world around her is bright, but what she's thinking about is not, because there is a, you know, a like obvious sense of concern on her face. So maybe that's a conscious decision by the developer to like say, hey, you know, maybe things aren't what they seem here. You know, so very cool stuff. This is one of my favorite scenes. Once again, so many colors. I love how the light is both coming from the window from behind the American flag sign and these little Christmas lights on the right side here, as well as the globe that's in front of that parental advisory sign there. So you have all this light going all over the place, and there's just colors everywhere. You know, I really love the like little "can't sleep" and the "gotta let it go" that's like written on the wall there. Stack of magazines in like a box on the bottom, and her friend here just kind of like tatted up with like the ripped jeans, just standing on her bed, like, you know, you can't tell here, but she's dancing, you know, and who hasn't done that, you know? So I really like how this kind of evoked, you know, you can immediately tell a lot about this character, you know, just from this screenshot. And, you know, that's really what you want to achieve for what you want to achieve in these games. Once again, y'all, I got a photo of like Maxine and some obvious anguish here, but that light, you know what I'm saying? The whole right side is just encapsulated with that light. But at the same time, it's blurred so that you're focusing just on her face and on like her hands. I can almost feel them kind of trembling here. And this is just a great way on evoking that emotion. And then we have sort of the exact opposite. We have our grays. Now, this is normally what you see in games, dark, dreary grays. But the beauty about Life is Strange is that, you know, they have so much brightness and light in the rest of the game that in this part, you really feel the weight of the darkness. And you really think, why do they choose to do this? And it sort of alters your mood in the same way that Maxine's mood is like also altered, as you can see on the bottom. Why am I here again? Right? So maybe this is a place that she's been before. You can like see that like there's some raindrops there, and you can also see this sense of like kind of both confusion and kind of recognizing like I know this place but not really, you know. So just excellent use of like color, light, and all that stuff. So y'all, buy Life is Strange. It's only about $15. It's on Windows, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Xbox One, Xbox 360, so you have no excuse not to get this. Definitely support DontNod Entertainment in this, as well as their previous game, Remember Me. All right, y'all. This is Game Looks Good. I'm Shareef Jackson. Peace.